There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men that moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales which would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen weird sights, but the weirdest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold. The land of gold seemed to hold him in its spell. So he used to say in his homely way, I'd sooner live in hell. We were mushing away one Christmas day over the Dawson Trail. Talk of the cold through the Parker fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. And your eyes closed, your eyelashes froze, and sometimes you couldn't see. So 'twasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay back tight in our low robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turns to me, and Cat, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no, so I said with an awful moan, it's the awful hold, and it's got right hold, and it's chilled me through to the bone. Yet, being dead, it's the awful dread of that icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear both foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains. Well, a man's last need is a thing to heed, so I promised I would not fail. We started out at the streak of dawn, and by God, he looked ghastly pale. He's crouched on the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee, and before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death as I hurried horror-driven with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of the promise given. He was lashed to the sleigh, and he seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true. So it's up to you to cremate these last remains. A promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart how I cursed the load. In the long, long night by the cold firelight, while the huskies browned in a ring, howled out their woe to the homeless snow. Oh God, how I loathed the thing! And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow, and on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, I felt half mad, I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to that hateful thing, and it answered me with a grin. Till I came to the barge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay, it was jammed in the ice. I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. Then I looked at it, and I thought a bit. Then I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. I pulled some planks from the cabin floor. I started the boiler fire. Some coals I found which were lying round, and I built the fuel up higher. The flames they soared, and the furnace roared, such a sight you seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I shoved in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, 'cause I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens howled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. The icy cold, and the hot sweat rolled round my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the inky smoke with a creasy stroke went streaming down the sky. I don't know how long in the snow I wrestled with awful fear, but the stars came out and danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, I bravely said, I'll just take a peek inside. I guess he's cooked. Each time I looked, the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heat of the furnace raw, and he wore a smile. You could see a mile. And he said, "Please close that door. It's fine in here, but I gravely fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, this is the first time I've been warm." There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men that boil for gold. The Arctic trails have the secret tales which'll make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen weird sights, but the weirdest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Lebarge. I cremated Sam McGee.